Viewers of the ITV soap are well aware that the couple known as Swarla have faced plenty of difficulties, largely due to Becky Swain. Coronation Street followers believe they've figured out what lies ahead for Carla Connor and Lisa Swain's relationship, but many suspect it won't be a lasting solution. Fans familiar with the series know that Swarla didn't exactly have a smooth beginning, which is no surprise in the world of soaps. Still, things had started to look up for Carla and Lisa as they took a big step forward by moving into their new home at number 6 Coronation Street. After several unsuccessful proposal attempts, the factory boss and the detective sergeant finally became engaged, thanks to Lisa's grand public gesture. Unfortunately, their happiness was short-lived when Lisa's ex-wife, Becky Swain, suddenly reappeared, despite everyone believing she had died nearly 4 years earlier. Lisa was completely stunned when Becky appeared in their living room at number 6 on their daughter Betsy's 18th birthday in September, especially since she'd been told Becky was killed in the line of duty. Since her unexpected return, Becky has made life difficult for Carla, clearly determined to reunite her old family, while Lisa remains blind to her ex's true motives. Recently, Becky claimed she had spent her missing years in witness protection in Spain, insisting that she's now being watched and that her flat is unsafe, prompting Betsy to ask her to move in with them. Carla, however, isn't convinced that Becky is really being hunted by a criminal gang, while Lisa appears conflicted between her past and her present and still partly trusts Becky's story. Now, many Corrie viewers believe a temporary split may be the only way for Lisa and Carla to ultimately repair their relationship. Coronation Street's Shona and David face huge dilemma tonight in special episode. There's a decision to make. Tonight, Coronation Street viewers will see Shona and David Platt face a heartbreaking crossroads as troubling confirmation arrives about their unborn child. The emotional episode places the couple in the spotlight, forcing them to confront a decision that could change their lives forever. Earlier this week, Shona and David attended a routine scan, but the sonographer raised concerns after spotting a possible growth on their baby's neck, leading to an urgent follow-up appointment the next day. The opening scenes unfold from Shona's perspective, showing her frustration at David's calm attitude before their crucial meeting with the specialist. However, the next segment shifts to David's point of view, revealing that his quietness came from fear. He didn't want to say anything that might upset his wife. Tension grew between them as they prepared for the consultation, but they eventually managed to share their feelings and face the hospital visit united. There, they received devastating news. Their baby girl had developed a tumor on her neck, and if they decided to continue the pregnancy, Shona would need to undergo a complicated and high-risk operation. David was left reeling, while Shona tried to focus on the positive, celebrating that they were expecting a daughter rather than facing the gravity of the diagnosis. Back home, David refused to downplay the danger to both mother and child, suggesting that they should think seriously about ending the pregnancy. But Shona couldn't bear to face that possibility. Later that evening, when Nick, Sarah, and Audrey joined them for dinner, she stayed silent about the scan and instead joyfully revealed the baby's gender. As the family raised their glasses to the upcoming arrival, David's face betrayed his worry. Once they were alone, Shona firmly told him that she was determined to give their daughter every possible chance and would go through with the surgery regardless of the risk. Could this impossible choice be the thing that tears Shona and David apart for good? Coronation Street's Roy to hide big secret as he makes mysterious new friend. Who could it be? Next week on Coronation Street, longtime fan favorite Roy Cropper finds himself at the center of a puzzling new storyline, one that's set to raise plenty of eyebrows in Weatherfield. For years, viewers have known Roy as the straight-talking, honest cafe owner who values truth above all else. But in an unexpected twist, he's about to start keeping secrets from those closest to him, and that alone is enough to make his loved ones worry. The drama begins when Nina Lucas starts noticing something odd about Roy's routine. Every morning, he becomes unusually preoccupied with the post, checking, sorting, and double-checking the mail as though he's waiting for something very important. Nina quickly picks up on his behavior and begins to suspect that there's more going on than meets the eye. At first, she brushes it off as one of her uncle's harmless quirks. But as the week goes on, Roy's secrecy grows. He becomes distracted, withdrawn, and oddly protective of his letters. When Nina finally questions him about it, she asks point blank who he's writing to and why he's acting so strangely. But Roy refuses to give her a clear answer. And for someone who prides himself on being transparent, that only deepens the mystery. Later, things become even more curious when Ed Bailey stops by to install a new library box outside the cafe, a project Roy admits that was suggested by his new friend. Ed, unaware of the full story, goes along with it, while Nina becomes even more concerned. Who exactly is this pen pal of Roy's, and why hasn't he told anyone about them? An insider from the show teases, Roy's not someone who lies or hides things easily. It's completely out of character for him. So for him to be concealing something this big, there must be a very personal reason behind it. The big question is whether his secret is harmless or something that could have serious consequences. As curiosity builds, viewers are left wondering whether this mysterious correspondence could be connected to something from Roy's past. Given his complicated history, from his time caring for Haley to his friendship with Abby and his quiet grief over lost loved ones, the arrival of a secret pen pal might reopen emotional wounds he's long tried to keep closed. Meanwhile, Roy's household continues to bustle with tension as Abby Webster and her son Alfie remain under his roof. Abby has been living with Roy since her marriage to Kevin Webster fell apart, following the revelation of her affair with Kevin's brother, Carl. While Abby tries to pick up the pieces, Carl has been struggling to prove that he's ready for commitment, a task that becomes harder with every passing day. Next week, Roy offers some well-meaning advice to Carl, suggesting that he take a more active role in Alfie's life and spend time bonding with the child. When Alfie returns home from nursery feeling unwell, Roy proposes that Carl should look after him and use the opportunity to form a connection. But things don't go according to plan. Alfie shows little interest in Carl, barely acknowledging him, and only perks up when Kevin arrives. The awkward encounter leaves Carl deflated, and hints that deep down he might not be ready for the family life Abby wants. It doesn't help that several characters have already hinted at Carl's reluctance to settle down. Rumors continue to circulate about his ongoing casual fling with James, suggesting that Carl is far from ready to commit. This emotional divide could spell even more heartache for Abby, who's trying to hold things together for Alfie's sake. As the festive season draws nearer, Weatherfield is already bracing for a storm of emotions, secrets, and surprises. With Roy hiding something mysterious, Abby's family life hanging in the balance, and Carl's true intentions under scrutiny, the Cobbles are set for a Christmas packed with drama. Will Nina uncover what Roy's really hiding before it's too late? And could Roy's secret letter writing lead to the return of someone from his past, or perhaps introduce a brand new threat to his quiet life? Find out as Coronation Street continues next week, airing Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and streaming exclusively on ITVX.